Alright, so the first exercise I'm going to be demonstrating today is a goblet squat. And the main thing to keep in mind while you're doing this is that you want to be keeping a neutral spine and you want to be keeping your shoulders pressed together. And that will help you keep your neutral spine and it'll maintain very good center of gravity, and that's the point of this. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking a dumbbell, whatever weight is comfortable for you, and you're going to be holding it like this. And you're going to keep it right here, and the important part, again, here is to keep your chin tucked in. And how this is going to work is when you're going down, your elbows are going to come just to the insides of your knees. Right here, it's sort of like the teardrop spot. You're going to be putting your elbows, that's almost like a good gauge to show that you're doing a very good squat. You want your elbows to be right along the inside here. And like I said, you're going to be keeping this close to your body, chin tucked in, and then you're keeping a neutral spine and your shoulders pinched together. So we're going to do a couple right now. You're going to go up, and then down. Same thing, elbows coming in, up, down, all while maintaining a neutral spine. Down. And the important thing to remember with squats is you want to try to envision yourself sitting in a chair. So you're getting down, coming up, sitting in your chair again, coming up, sitting in your chair, coming up. For spotting with this kind of exercise, what I think is most effective is to have someone behind you, because the important part is that you want to make sure that your spine is safe. That's always very important. And if you're able to keep a neutral spine, if you're collapsing backwards, it's going to hurt when you fall. So you want to have somebody there who's capable to just support you going up and down. If you need help, which you probably shouldn't. If you're doing too much weight, you'll know. But if you do need someone to spot you there, that's good. And for the cues, the best ones that I said, or like I said already, that I like to point out is that you're sitting in a chair and you want to maintain your shoulders together. Shoulders pressed together, chin tucked in, and the dumbbell as close to your chest as possible. And when you're going down, you want to look for that sitting position where you feel like you're sitting in the chair. Okay, the second exercise I'm going to be showing today is how to do a dumbbell deadlift. And the reason I chose this is because not everybody has access to a gym and not everybody's going to have barbells in their houses. So this is just a nice sort of different way to do it that, as long as you have a set of dumbbells or, have a little bit of room in your house, you're able to do them. So with this exercise, it's going to be a little bit different than your regular deadlift. Your feet and your legs are going to be about shoulder width apart. And with the dumbbells, you're not going to be holding it like this in front of you like you would a typical deadlift, and you're also not going to be holding them back. You're going to have them sort of sideways like this. And the important thing to do while you're doing this deadlift for it to really work well is that you're going to be keeping your shoulder blades pinched, and you want to be keeping your chest up, and you want to be keeping a tall chest. And same thing, you're doing that so you maintain a neutral spine, and the neutral spine is what's really important here. So you're going to, if you want, come down to the starting position, and you're going to, like I said, you're going to be keeping your neutral spine. You want to keep your shoulder blades pinched together, and this is a really good exercise to help you learn how to keep your shoulder blades pinched. And then when you're coming up, you're going to be performing, you're going to be thrusting almost. And the thrust is to make sure you're arching your back, and that's how you're going to feel the exercise in your lower back. So we'll go ahead and do one. So come up, thrust, back down, maintaining your neutral spine, thrust. And this whole time, you want to be keeping your chest tall, pressed out, and your shoulder blades pinched together. And again, thrust. Down, thrust. It's a little bit of a weird workout to get used to, but once you do, it works just the same. It works your muscles a little bit differently, and it'll help stabilize your shoulders and your core a little bit. And for spotting with this activity, the only thing really that I think would be useful is having someone stand behind you and just be there for support on your way down, because that's where things will get interesting, because it's, again, your spine. You want to always be protecting your spine, because you don't want to slip a disc or anything like that. Those are injuries that are really, really serious and potentially really harmful. And then for the cues, the same thing. You want to just, the shoulder blades is what's important. The shoulder blades, if they're pinched together, you're going to be innately pushing your chest out a little bit. You're going to be keeping a tall chest and a tall spine, and that's what's really important here, is maintaining your neutral spine. The only other thing that I would think of is to make sure that they're not holding the dumbbells too far back, too far forward like this. Like, you just want to keep them at a nice sort of comfortable position on your sides. For my third exercise, what I'm going to be showing is a regressed version of the pistol squat. And to keep in mind while you're doing this, the main thing is as you're lowering your body in this motion, you want to be contracting your core and your glutes. You want to really be squeezing to help maintain balance as you're going down. So pistol squat, you can choose right or left leg. It's really good for helping fix muscle imbalance. It's a bit more of an advanced move if you're doing the full one, but like I said, we're going to do a regressed version. And to do this version, you want to have something behind you about 4 or 5 inches below your butt, so that's where you're going to be aiming to land. So for the pistol squat, you're going to be starting in a normal position, and what you're going to do is you're going to put one leg out, and you're going to put both your arms out as well, and this is just to help you balance. And you're going to drop down, and in this version, you're going to drop down to the chair. And what you will need to really make sure you're doing while you have your arms out and your leg out, once you get to the chair, you want to make sure that you're not using the momentum from the chair to push back up. You want to sit in the chair and then push back up with your leg. Sit in the chair, push back up with your leg. Notice that I'm not sitting down and then taking the momentum and pulling myself up. You want to sit down and then push. Sit down, push. You want all of the work to be going through your leg. Spotting for this, shouldn't really need any with this form. As you progress through them and get to the more difficult versions, you might want to have someone there just even as a brace, but most of the versions that get harder and harder, you're going to have something to support you. You're going to have a TRX, you're going to have even a wall helps, or just something to help you balance. So spotting shouldn't really need too much. For cues, the main thing is to make sure you're engaging your core and your glutes. You want to really look for that solid grouping together of all your muscles. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the pistol squat. Like I said, there's more progression to it than this. This is pretty much the most simplistic, basic version. So I'll be listing more progressions.